I wanted to take the time to respond to this comment and kind of just clear up the misconception, because a lot of people seem to think that what I am teaching you guys is not considered a no doc loan. Okay, so first things first, man, much respect to this person right here. Maha said they liked my videos. Thank you, much respect. I appreciate you for watching. This video is specifically for you and anybody else who do not fully understand no doc loans. All right. Now, I keep seeing different comments like this, and I'm gonna clear this up so that you guys can understand exactly what a no doc loan is. All right. So before we kind of dive into this, okay, 12 USC 1431 powers and duties of banks. It says that banks have the power to borrow and give securities, therefore to pay interest thereon, to issue debentures, bonds, and other obligations of such terms. Okay, I'll move myself out of the way. Okay, so the point of me bringing this up is to let you guys know that there is some truth to the fact that they should not need documents in order to give you funding. Okay, and also at the same time, they're not actually loaning you money. Okay, so technically it's not a loan. All right, but they're playing this game that it's a loan. Now I'm gonna tell you why. If we go to 15 USC 1681 under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, essentially the credit bureaus, Congress have made these following findings: that credit bureaus have created an elaborate mechanism that has been developing for investigating and evaluating the credit worthiness, credit standing, credit capacity, character, and general reputation of consumers. Okay? Consumer reporting agencies have assumed a vital role in assembling and evaluating consumer credit and other information on consumers. There's a need to ensure that consumer reporting agencies exercise their grave responsibility with fairness, impartiality, and respect to the consumer's right to privacy. All right, and then also I want to talk a little bit about elaborate. Okay, Congress said that they have created something that was carefully arranged, detailed, and complicated in design and planning. Okay, now why am I bringing this up? I bring this up because I think there's a huge misconception that you can just walk into a bank, okay, with no paperwork at all, and essentially like poof, you're going to get money. The reality is it doesn't work like that. Okay? If you look at modern money mechanics, there is some aspects to the fact that they prove that money is literally being created. Money is just literally some book entries that they put into there is just some book entries that they put. Okay? Now, back to the fact that the many people who think that, well, just to clear it up, a score is not paperwork. All right? A score doesn't mean that, you're providing all the paperwork that we thought we needed to provide. What no doc loan means is you don't have to go through a traditional income verification such as W-2s, such as tax returns, and such as pay stubs. Before you seen this video, before you seen any other video on no doc loans, you probably thought you needed to have every single document in the world. Not only the document that you can repay the loan, but you got to have documents that explained what you was going to do with the money, your business plan, and things in that nature. But you don't need that. That's what no documents mean. But it doesn't change the fact that you need to be able to show them that you can repay the loan. Now you may say, well, if we go to 15 USC 1691 scope of prohibition, it says it shall be unlawful for any creditor to discriminate against any applicant with respect and aspect to a credit transaction on the basis of race, color, religion, nation, national origin, sex, marital status, all are part of the applicant's income derivatives from any public assistance program, or because the applicant is in good faith exercise any right under this chapter. Okay? So I'll unpack this because absolutely, yes, you should be able to walk into a bank and get a loan without having to go through all these income verification steps. But back to what the Fair Credit Reporting Act says, it says they created an elaborate mechanism now We are playing a game now. And if you want to play their game, okay, you have to do it effectively. Okay? Now, here's what no doc loans mean. If we're just talking about the income verification aspect, is that you don't have to provide those tax returns, W-2s, or pay stubs, but you can provide a bank statement. You can show your credit history. You can show your business revenue, and you can show your assets. Okay? All they need to know is that there's some type of collateral that they can pretty much, that you can borrow against. And the only thing is borrowing. Okay, it's because they're under the assumption, and the game is that we are borrowing money, but the reality is we're not borrowing money. Okay, you can argue that after you get your loan. You feel me? But to get the loan, the easiest way to get the loan is to use your credit score and your credit history. Now, your credit score and your credit history is not a document. It is a score. Do you understand now? Okay, it is a score. So what document is needed if you're just showing your score? Right now in the comment section, tell me what document is needed, that when you go to a bank, what type of documents are they asking you for? Because asking you for your credit score is not a document. Guess what? You also don't need money to get a no-doc loan. You can walk into any bank with $0 in your bank account, but you can have a good credit score and the bank will loan you money. Now you went from $0 to however much they loaned you, quote unquote. Now, the reason why they offer these no-doc loans is for people that are self-employed, entrepreneurs, and people who own businesses, because they don't have traditional paychecks. And then also at the same time, banks and lenders adjust their underwriting for this group of people, okay? But they still need proof that you can repay the loan. And I'll keep putting quotations because it's not like you're repaying a loan. But there's an aspect of them being able to use you and use your promissory note to get the money that's on the table. Now, the system is against you, okay? But before I talk about that, I want to address this comment directly, okay? If you were expecting money with no verification at all, that is not no-doc funding. That's actually fantasy land. Okay, you'll be living in a fantasy land if you thought that you can walk into a bank and go like this and they're going to give you funding. They're going to give you money. See, in order for you to do that, you have to be able to break down the system bit by bit. And that is much harder than just fixing your credit, just sending in a couple letters. You feel me? We don't want to send in a couple of letters, so we'll just make comments like this. But this comment really doesn't take us anywhere. These type of comments actually deter people from going and exercising their right or going and doing what they need to do. See, did you know that you can actually remove anything and everything off your credit report? And you can manipulate that credit report so that you can get actual no-doc loans? Did you know that you can build your credit and maintain your credit to where you can walk into any bank and get no-doc funding? Obviously, you need to have a business because it's for entrepreneurs. And if you don't have a business, then maybe this is not for you. And having a business is not a document. That's an actual business. Well, yes, it is a document, but it's in business. It's an asset. It's collateral. You cannot walk in there with your hands out and they're going to give you money. That's why I share these strategies so that you know exactly how to leverage credit, okay? The right way. It's not a game where you just can think that something is just going to be given to you, okay? And better yet, even after that, you still need to build relationships. If you walk into a bank and you if you walk into any place, any establishment or any business, and you're not trying to give something in return, what makes you think they're going to give something to you? If you had $100,000 and somebody came to you under the assumption that they was being loaned something, wouldn't you want to know that they can pay it back? Like, forget all the consumer laws for a second. Forget all of that for a second, okay? Because before you seen these videos, before you actually watched me, before you watched anybody else, you thought you was getting an actual loan. If you read the Modern Money Mechanics, if you understood 12 U.S.C. 1431, if you understood all the CFR codes that can challenge those banks against whether they are loaning you or not, you would know that that's not a battle that you should play before you get the loan. You got to get the loan first, and then you can fight that battle. But if you're trying to get the loan, play the game correctly. Fix your credit. Send in a couple letters. And then after you send in a couple letters, escalate it to the CFPB. If you can't escalate to the CFPB, then sue them. And for my people that also want to know, oh, what do I do if I get denied? Well, guess what? If you get denied, you want to ask them for the adverse action letter. You want to know exactly why they denied you. Okay? And you can challenge the fact that they are violating 15 U.S.C. 1691. You can challenge the fact that your bad credit is not a factor. You can challenge the fact that, under 15 U.S.C. 1611, they'll be under criminal liability for false and misleading information. You can challenge them on that, but unless you're willing to take them to court, they're not going to pretty much do anything unless you're talking to the right people. And that actually takes more work if you have to do that for every single loan. So again, by all means, yes, you can get a loan or you can get credit and extend it to yourself without having to show your credit score, show proof of income and all that. But you can't sit there and walk into the bank and argue with the finance manager and hope that they're going to give you money just because you're arguing this stuff. No, they're going to tell you to send it in writing. They're going to tell you to see them in court. And if you're not willing to go to court, then yes, you're going to be doing more than actually fixing your credit. You're going to be fighting an even harder battle. It's easier to fight the credit bureaus. It's easier to challenge them on your information. It's way easier to do that than you sitting there trying to argue about whether or not you should be getting a loan without providing any documents, without any type of verification. And again, it's a loan. You're asking for somebody to loan you money without you giving them something in return. You're asking them to trust you without you giving them something in return or proving that you can actually pay them back. But guess what? When you put in that application, they deny you anyways. They still make money off of you. But guess what? You cannot fight that because you don't know the law. I'm sorry. I just don't want us to be living in a fantasy land. I don't want us to think that you can just walk into a bank with your hand out and argue these laws and they're going to give you money. I'm sorry, there's going to be no video like that being said. How you want to get no doc loans is by fixing your credit, because if you have good credit, guess what? You can walk into any bank. If one bank denies you, you go to the next bank. But also at the same time, it's best if you show up with good credit so that you have better negotiation power. You could stand on 15 U.S.C. 1691 if you have good credit. But again, if you wanted to beat them, you will have to break down this entire elaborate mechanism first. If you're not willing to break down this elaborate mechanism, then what are you expecting them to do? They're going to use that elaborate mechanism against you because it makes them money. When you put in your application, they still are able to get the money. And unless you can prove that, you're going to be stuck with no money. All right? So again, thank you guys for watching this video. Down below, I have a full guide on no doc loans. Okay? No doc loans is literally, if you have good credit, you can walk into any bank that is listed in the no doc guide and get the funding. And it all depends on how good your credit is. If you didn't need credit, I wouldn't be spending a lot of time teaching you guys how to fix your credit. If you think credit is a document, you know what I'm saying? This is coming from a place of comments like this actually deterring people from doing what they need to do because they think it's some other way that they can get credit with bad credit. And until everybody starts to challenge these credit bureaus, it won't be broken down. Until everybody is not afraid to send in their letters and sue the credit bureaus, it won't be broken down. See, these credit bureaus have to be challenged. They have to be under some type of class action so that now Congress recognizes that fair and accurate credit reporting is not the wave anymore. And they put an actual stop to this. But guess what? The only people that can put a stop to it is you. Okay? If you're not going to stop the credit bureaus, don't think that you're going to be able to beat the banks. You get me? Because once you go down that road of trying to fight the banks on whether or not they should be loaning you money and this, that, and the third because of amount of money mechanics and some of the things that I teach here, that stuff is just to empower you, to let you know that, yes, this money is coming out of thin air. And all you have to do is just apply or position yourself and you can get access to as much as you want. But you have to play the game effectively. You have to play their game. Yes, the system is not designed to be for you. It's designed against you. They put more and more things in place to be against you, and you have to be able to be willing to put yourself in position and fight back. That's why we have these conversations. And if you are watching this just for entertainment, stop watching for entertainment. Educate yourself, all right? Learn the law, and no company or no bank would ever take advantage of you, okay? So once again, thank you guys for watching the video. I suggest anybody to go and do their due diligence, okay? If we see any more comments like this, refer them to this video, all right? I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to see more content, like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think about this, because I have so much fuel, and I can keep teaching you guys and keep debunking stuff like that. All right. Appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.